This is a quick review on the SmartReloader ISD powder dispenser. I'm just going to show you how it works here and compare it against this Reading scale. This is an older oil dampened Reading scale. I have Varget powder in there now. I've used this scale for this dispenser for the past 4 months to load my long range ammunition. I actually just used it 2 weeks ago to load my ammunition to win the Idaho State Long Range Championship in FTR class. So I'll show you here. I'll throw a charge of 44 grains. One thing that's cool about this scale is you can adjust the trickle speed and the interval time. The trickle speed is how fast it trickles. Then the interval time is how far before the charge weight the scale starts to slow down. You hit the edit mem key and that slows down the trickle speed. So right now we were at a trickle speed of 0.6. I hit that button and it made it 0.5. I found 0.6 is the best for Varget. Then you have the interval time, which is adjusted with the trickle button and the mem button. The trickle button decreases the interval time, so that makes it slow down closer to the charge weight. So hitting that made it 6.5. Then hitting mem increases it, makes it 7.5. There's tons of different options there, all the way from 1 up above 10. I found 7.5 is the best for Varget. So anyways, let's have it dispense here. It takes about 30 seconds to dispense with those particular trickle speeds and interval times. But I found that gives the least amount of overcharges. I have adjusted it down to where if you're okay with a few overcharges, down to where it throws within about 10 to 13 seconds. But then you do get more overcharges, which if you're loading hunting ammunition or something that doesn't require quite as much precision, you could increase that trickle speed and decrease the interval time to where it throws fairly quickly, and you just have a few more overcharges, which I think is fine for hunting ammunition. Okay, there's 44 grains there. One of the things I pay attention to is making sure that it goes back to the same negative number every time that I take the pan off. It doesn't always go back to that same number, but I just want to make sure it goes within 1/10 of that number and that it's consistent. So you can see here that threw exactly 44 grains of powder according to the Reading scale here. Dump it back in and do another charge here for you. So you can see here with this particular interval time, it starts to slow itself down about 2 grains before the target charge. And you can see how fast it trickles, and you can increase that trickle rate quite substantially by hitting the edit mem or the new mem buttons that I showed you. One of the things about this scale, though, is it's so inexpensive that you could buy 2 of them, have 2 of them running, make sure they're calibrated the same, and run a progressive press, and then you can substantially cut down on your loading times for really precision ammunition. I've been using this dispenser in conjunction with a Dillon 650 and been very happy with how fast I've been able to load ammo and how precise the ammo has been. So you can see there, that's exactly 44 grains again. I'll do one more for you. The scale does re-zero itself every time you put the pan back on, which is a nice feature. I've only found when you take the pan off that it shows a different weight, when something jumbles the scale. So usually my kids running back and forth or something will cause it to zero wrong. But then as long as you pay attention to that, it goes back to that same negative number every time you take the pan off, then you know your charge is pretty accurate. So there's 44 grains again there. Okay, that charge is just a hair below 44 grains, but still well within acceptable amount of accuracy. I found ammunition that I've loaded with this SmartReloader powder dispenser typically has a standard deviation of around 4 feet per second, 4 to 6 feet per second, and an extreme spread of 12 to 16 feet per second. As long as I pay attention to making sure there's no noise around the dispenser that causes it to lose zero, and pay attention to just everything being absolutely consistent on how I put the pan on it and things like that, which I would expect you would have to be ultra consistent with any dispenser you use.